coming in, you guys. It's day number 79 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. I have been getting into a 32-degree temperature ice bath every single day for the whole year of 2022. And I mean, these are like big, thick pieces of ice in this ice bath. Those of you that have not been watching, it's the Morosco Forge. And I purchased this last year as a way of motivating myself to do more ice baths. And so been getting in there every single day for at least 5 minutes. You guys that watched yesterday, I actually made the longest time I've ever made in an ice bath consecutively was 10 minutes in a row. And so that happened yesterday. Today, you guys, here on day 79, I wanted to do a little something different. So I'm going to walk out into my yard. It is nice and sunny out here today in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I am barefoot. I'm just wearing my swim trunks like I always do. And I want to stand in, hopefully not chicken poop, because I'm looking down to make sure I don't step in any chicken poop. I'm going to stand in the sunshine. And I want to stand out here for probably, 10 or 15 minutes to really get some good sun exposure. I have never gone right from a grounding session, which is what my feet are grounded in the ground. I've never gone from a grounding session, standing in the sunshine, letting that sun hit my eyes, which is good for circadian rhythm entrainment, by the way. So if you've never been able to sleep very well, you don't have consistent bedtimes and everything, one of the best things you can do is to stand in your yard towards the sun, not looking right at the sun, but letting the sun hit the eyes. So at this angle, this time of day, it's 5 o'clock here where I am, that sun is coming at a certain angle. In the morning time, you want it to hit in the middle of the day, and then towards the evening, like it is now, you want it to hit your eye. And what that's doing is it's training your brain what time it is, so that when it's time to go to bed and the sun goes down, you go to sleep. So let's stand out here in the middle of my yard. Got a big, beautiful backyard anyway. All my chickens over there, you can see them gathered all together. And I'm starting to warm up. I'm out here in the sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Oh. And gonna do this for a little while. And I'm obviously feeling my body heating up. Of course, I'm also very heated up preemptively from my body temperature being up I measured my temperature. It was 99.5 degrees like 10 minutes ago. So I'm typically warmer anyway. So I've got that going on. Now I've got sun kind of baking me a little bit. I'm getting a little bit warm. Then I'm going to get in the ice bath. So let's see what happens being out in this warm. I will likely do this during the summertime too, when it's like in the 90s or something, just so I can get that feeling of really, really warm and then going in to chill out. I think it's going to be pretty refreshing when I go in today. But let's see who all's here. I don't usually talk to you this early, but since I've got a few more minutes to kill before we go in the ice bath. Carolyn is here. CC Guide Dogs. Debbie. Sharon. Texas Livingston. Sharon says, number 79. Woohoo. Cherish is here. Jojo. Cherish says, hey, Jimmy. Hey, what's up? Nutrient Dense Teas is here. Jojo says hi from Canada. Debbie says hello. Kira's here. Cherish says I'm grilling and grounding right now. Yes. If you do not put your feet into the ground and earth yourself, you're missing out. This is such a free, energizing thing to do for your body. So is the sun exposure. So is breathing. All of these are healthy practices. And so those of you that came in late, I am going into the ice bath after a jaunt in the sun. I wanted to get probably about 10 to 15 minutes of sun exposure. I've been out here less than 5 minutes. So I'm grounding. I've got my feet firmly in the ground. I'm pretty much completely covered with sunshine all over my body, except for my swimming trunks that are on. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. Carrie is here. Chakal is here. Bulletproof Coconut's here. Cherish says earthing is amazing. Yes, if you guys have never heard of earthing, it's also known as grounding. I actually interviewed the guy that wrote the book about earthing about 12 years ago. 12 or 14 years ago. It's been a long time ago. And it was fascinating at the time. I thought he was a little wackadoodle. because I didn't understand the purpose of it. Because he had all these grounding mats, and he had grounding like mattress that you could put on. It was just weird to me. Now I get it. I understand it. What was your temperature today? 99.5 degrees Bulletproof. So that was about 5 minutes before I got on the air. It was 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So Cena is here. Shakal is here. So yes, you guys, I wanted to see letting my body get the sun exposure, getting the grounding, doing all this before getting into the ice bath. So, hello, Holly, just got here. Chera says, do you have earthing mats or sheets? I did at one time. They sent me all of that when I interviewed the guy on my podcast. They sent me some of that stuff, and I had it for a while. Something happened, and I don't have them anymore, but I have used them in the past. And look, the problem is some of that stuff's just so subjective. How do you know if it's doing anything? But I know there are people that they swear by it. So guys, earlier today, I was in the hot tub, just chilling out, and I decided, you know what? This was after the walk and talk. You know what? I'm going to pop into the ice bath, maybe 30, 45 seconds, and then I'll go back into the hot tub. And do you know, it's so glorious to go into the ice bath, just that short little period of time. And of course, I do dunk my head because I was actually pretty warm after the walk and talk earlier. I was pretty warm, and so I wanted to cool off. And so that does the trick. And there's just so much, even in that short little period of time, 45 seconds in there, made such the difference. And so if you're hesitant about even doing a little bit of cold, let me tell you, you're going to feel it. It's going to be worth it. You don't have to do 5 minutes like I do, 10 minutes I did yesterday. You don't have to do these long sessions to get benefit. Pop in there, get you 30, 45 seconds in. And that means in the cold shower. Don't feel like, well, I only did like a minute in the cold shower. Hey, a minute is a minute, and you're going to get some great benefit from that. Holly says, I ground every day outside. Yes. Yes, it's a great practice. It's free. Right there in the earth are my feet. And I love it. And I'm getting that sunshine. I've now been out here almost 10 minutes. And yeah, we're gonna make the most of this sunshine. Hello, Del Norte. Hello, Sorinamas. Thanks for being here, you guys. But yes, day number 79. I'm gonna pop into the ice bath here probably in about 6 more minutes. That gives me 15 minutes out here in the sunshine. So feel free if you have any questions or comments, you want to just interact with me. I got 6 minutes to talk to you guys. Feel free to ask away any questions, make any comments. What has been the most surprising thing for those of you that have watched the journey? What's been surprising to you about what you've seen happen for me? Del Norte, I see you want to be in the live video. I'm not bringing anybody on live. If you have a question, please feel free to write it in the comment section down there. Would love to see what you have to say. Hello, Jay Monty. Thanks for being here. Bulletproof says, do you know when you will have your update on what you've been doing? Are you talking about with the diet? What do you mean what I've been doing? I assume you mean with the diet. Kira says, doesn't the hot tub hurt the ice plunge? Yes, of course it does. Which is one, well, let me caveat that. It doesn't allow the body to warm the body up. But that wasn't the purpose. I'm doing my ice plunge now. So I would never, after my Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge ice bath, go into the hot tub. But because earlier I just wanted a quick little dip to cool off, it really wasn't for the purposes of getting an ice bath in. So yes, to answer your question, in general, yes. You want your body to do the warming up. She said, I stood outside with shoes on for 45 minutes. Feet were freezing. I put my feet in hot water and I was in so much pain. Yeah. And look, if you're in pain, obviously do what you got to do to get out of pain. And you have a different situation than I do because I don't have those issues that you do. But yes, when I did the 45 seconds in there earlier and then I popped back in the hot tub, it's a weird feeling, kind of a tingly kind of feeling, but it was more to relax me, not to get the cold therapy benefits. What I'm about to do, getting into the ice bath here in about 4 minutes, is to actually get the cold therapy, and I will let my body temperature raise itself back up at that point. Yeah, Bulletproof says, yeah, I'm into your diet. So I am currently doing a plan, and it's behind the scenes because I'm trying to like vet out, do I like this or not? But it is a mix of carnivore eating with some fasting. So when the time comes, yes, I will have, in fact, I was just talking to the guy I'm working with yesterday, and I said, hey, we need to do like an Instagram live. Why don't you get some people that have been successful in this plan, maybe a couple of success stories, and then you and me, and we will all do a podcast on Instagram live. So we're working on that, you guys. So I will tell you what I'm doing. Yeah, and I'll leave it at that for now. Doesn't direct sun damage your eyes? Well, Carolyn, I'm not looking right at the sun. And it's so funny, her username, Always Sunny 1963. If it's always sunny, are people blinded by you? No. But no, I'm not looking at the sun. I'm just letting the sun hit the eye. Okay? It's a difference between letting the sun hit your eye and then looking at the sun, and yeah, that would be damaging. I'm not looking at the sun. I'm pointed towards the sun to let the sun hit the eyeball, but that's not the same as looking at the sun. Jay Rocha is here. Life is Pittoresque is here. Sharon says, what is the temp there? Not your body temp. Well, my body temp is HOT, baby. Sorry, I'm having too much fun. The outdoor temperature, it's in like the mid-60s here in South Carolina today. So very, very, very comfortable. Rain's Nutrition is here. Bulletproof says, do you know any good resources for improving your eyesight? I actually interviewed a guy last year on my podcast. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but he actually has a non-invasive way to improve your eyesight naturally. Bulletproof, send me a DM when we're done here, and I will look him up, and I will send you the link to that podcast. But I interviewed a guy about improving your eyesight naturally, and he's got this really cool plan, and his name is just escaping me at the moment, but really nice guy. And I did interview him last year on Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Always Sunny is in Florida. Yes, that's why you're always sunny. That's great. All right, B. John is here. Okay, it's been 15 minutes now, you guys, out here in the sunshine. So I'm going to meander and, again, try to avoid chicken poop as I walk back towards the ice bath. All right. So there is the big, beautiful ice. And look, you guys, this thing has been pumping out the ice. And I mean, not just little chump chain pieces of ice. Look at this big-ass piece of ice. This thing has been making so much like big ice lately. And I'm looking down at the bottom. Yeah, it's making some more. So all those of you who thought, hey, where's all the ice? Well, it's back. It's back. Look at that. There's a bug or something in the middle of that ice. So we're going to throw that out. Making lots of ice. All right, it's time to get in the ice bath. We are going to set you guys down. Oh, I forgot my timer. I'm thrown off because I was 15 minutes out in the sun. A beer cooler says Carolyn, yes. All right, no, not 10 minutes. That was yesterday. Clear the 10 minutes. 5 minutes. All right, let's set you down. Tilt you down. It does look like a big beer cooler. One of these days, hey, I'm going to tell you guys today, how funny would it be, Ice Jimmy, how funny would it be if on April Fool's Day, I get in here and I have like tons of beer in the ice bath? Would that not be a hilarious punk to people? Lift up the thing and go, all right, I'm going to get in here with my beer. I'm going to have some beer with my ice bath. Yes, yes. All right, guys. 5 minutes on the clock. We're ready to go. And here we go. Oh, this heavy, heavy ice in here, guys. Oh, yeah, it's a big sheet at the bottom. I already feel it. Okay, make sure I don't cut myself. Whew. right, guys. Yeah, the sun exposure before getting in here, that was an interesting experiment to do. Because it did make getting in pretty fun, pretty painless actually. Because I already was warm being out in the sun, and that was after already being warm preemptively before I got in here, 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. So I think it's healthy to mix up some of these things that we do anyway. So it's not all about ice baths, it's not all about sun exposure, it's not all about breathing, it's not all about grounding or red light or sauna and exercise and all these things. It's about all of it. And I have learned cumulative effects of all these things is so important. Ice baths are a really nice adjunct to a lot of the things, but they're not the be-all, end-all. I never want anybody to see me in an ice bath and say, well, all I need to do is go in an ice bath and all these things will change. Yeah, you'll have things be moving in the right direction, but don't think that this is everything. And if I ever give anybody that impression, please correct that in your mind right away, because that is not what I believe. There are so many big-ass chunks of ice, you guys. I mean, they're sitting right on top of everything. All these big chunks of ice everywhere. Look at this. Look at that. Whew. Yes, yes. So, guys, we're rocking this. 79 days in. I knew this was going to be difficult. I knew I was going to have challenging days, and I have. I knew I was going to have to really dig deep on some days to just get through this. I'm going to have to lift my hands. They're hurting now. So, but I'm doing it. And I'm proud of myself. I mean, I feel like this was a challenge that was the right time for me, because I came out of a really difficult circumstance in my life that lasted for over 2 years last year, and I wanted a way to kind of challenge myself to do something big, do something to challenge myself and to remind myself of who I am and what I'm about and what I'm capable of. I think sometimes we need those moments in our lives when we're willing to push ourselves and go above and beyond the things that we think we can do when you're ready. You're not always going to be ready. It's not always going to be the right timing. And this was the right timing. And I'm really glad I'm doing this. And I'm loving what I'm learning, and I'm loving what I'm able to pass on to you guys when it comes to the things that I'm learning. All right, so I'm going to go under the water now, scoop my butt up just a little bit. There's so much ice in here. Honka, honka, burning ice. Oh, I am so glad it is pumping out the ice. I hope he doesn't have a heart attack. Carolyn, that's not very nice to say. You know I read your comments. Why would I have a heart attack? Let's talk about that for a second. Why would you think I'm going to have a heart attack in an ice bath? Let's talk about that. Tell me your theory. Why? And I know the answer, by the way. I know why you think that. But I also have covered this before. I know, but that's extreme cold. Have you been watching my ice bath videos, Carolyn? I feel like you're a regular. You know what I'm doing. Why would this hurt me? Why? I'm just curious. I'm not being confrontational. I truly am interested because it's freezing. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. I've talked about how I have acclimated myself to the cold. So it's not like I went from not doing any cold to then doing 32 degree Fahrenheit water. By the way, it was 31.9 degrees today was the temperature of the water. So I'm not understanding what would make it a heart attack. Really, nobody has a fear of a heart attack. I know that's what a lot of health experts talk about. Oh, hypothermia, and you could risk a heart attack. No, not in a controlled setting. Not when you're doing it in a very short period of time. 5 minutes is not a long time. When I pushed 10 minutes yesterday, that still wasn't a very long time. It's enough time to let your body get the stressful response, the hormetic stress response that you want, but also to give you that great benefit that comes out the other side. All right, let me see who all came in while I was in there. Realistic Carnivore's here. Lucy's here. Do you have to meditate to convince yourself to stay in there? No, Carolyn, this is the fun part. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can psych yourself out. And look, I've seen some of the ice bath people, the ice plunge people, and the coaches that coach people. Oh, they're talking about all this. And then they get in the ice bath. And I'm just like, if you got to like psych yourself out to that level, get acclimated to the cold a little more first. I don't get it. I get in. I don't worry about I don't worry about breathing until I get in there, and then I breathe. I know people, they love the Wim Hof. They love all those little rituals about it. To me, that takes away from the experience. And maybe I'm cut from a different breed. I know I'm kind of weird, but I don't need all of that to get in. I don't have to have a meditation session to convince myself. I'm in because I know what it's going to do for me on the other side. And I go in every day. And so this is not a big deal. I could go back in there right now and it wouldn't be a big deal. It's just a part of who I am now. But when you first start, yeah, you need to have breathing. And you guys see me. I breathe for like 90 seconds when I get in there. And I'm that just slow, methodical, in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathing. And that calms me down enough. I don't have to meditate. Lisa's here. Bulletproof says there's some background noise. It's no big deal, but it sounds like a machine running. Yeah, that's the Morozco Forge. That's it making that ice. And so when you hear that fan sound, that machine sound, that's the Morozco Forge chilling the water, which I laid on a piece of ice. This is what you guys don't see. You see all the ice on the top. You don't realize there is a big sheet of ice on the bottom floor. So the bottom part of my legs and my butt and all the stuff that are sitting down and even my back, all of that has a sheet of ice on it, plus all the ice on the top. So I'm covered in ice when I'm in that thing. So yes, it's the ice bath, Bulletproof. Ange is here. Dickie Mint is here. Carolyn says, oh, you already read that one. Sweet Treats is here. Bulletproof's had 3 hearts. Sweet Treat says, I love that you're doing this. Cold thermogenesis is terrific. Keep it up, Jimmy. You're motivating me to get back in the cold water. Do it. Do it. Because I feel like we need to make cold normal again. I think in our modern society, and I've become more convinced of this since I've gotten into cold therapy, modern society has ruined us. Ancestrally speaking, we were meant to be cold. We were meant to go through times of being warm. We didn't have these controlled environments. We didn't have thermostats that let us put it on 72 degrees Fahrenheit year round. We had specific times when we needed to be cold. And our bodies had specific biological processes that kicked in because we were required to be cold. Same for when we're hot. We need to have those periods. This is why saunas are so great. This is why ice baths are so great. It's mimicking the effects of what used to be a normal part of life. And we've become so separated from it in our very comfortable 72 degree Fahrenheit year-round thermostat that we lose some of that edge that our early ancestors had. They had the edge because they had all this exposure to the extreme elements. And we got to get this notion of, oh, we can't be in the cold, you're going to catch a cold. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. You're going to boost your immunity if you're in the cold. Our cold is Jimmy's normal. Yes, Bulletproof, it's gotten to that point. I don't really get cold. I would love to know, I would love to be exposed to air that was cold enough for me to be, because you guys saw me right about a week or so ago. I think it was right at a week ago. It was 24 degrees Fahrenheit. And I did that. It was, yeah, that's right. It was last Sunday morning, 24 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was out there in just my shorts. And I was able to stay out there for 30 minutes in 24 degrees. Didn't shiver one time. What temperature could I withstand? 17 degrees? 15 degrees? 10 degrees? I think at some point it would hurt. At some point I would be like, okay, now. But not 24. It wasn't cold enough. Jay Fitchell is here. I feel like that I would have a heart attack. Well, you feel that way because you've not acclimated to cold. So once you acclimate to cold, you would not feel that way. You're only thinking that now because you're thinking of it through the perspective of someone who has not trained themselves to be acclimated to that temperature. Jimmy has been doing this for 3 years. Jimmy has gotten to the point where 32 degrees is not cold. 32 degrees is a challenge. 32 degrees does push my body, but it does not prevent me from getting in there, and I most certainly don't worry about a heart attack. PHS is here. Bulletproof's laughing at something. Carolyn says, gives new meaning to the phrase, freezing your ass off. Yes, I have that sheet of ice at the very bottom, and it is definitely freezing my ass off. Cheris says, a Jimmy ice sandwich. Yes, I'm the meat in that ice sandwich, for sure. I love it when I crank the Morozko Forge down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when it starts pumping out all this ice. So I should have put it on 30 all along. But during the winter, it did not need to be that cold. Now that it's getting warmer, and especially as it gets towards the summer, I am going to make sure it is still pumping out ice, 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 because I want to be in a 95 degree outside, but it be completely icy in that Morozko Forge. That'll be so refreshing. By the way, the experiment that I did today, it was 65 degrees Fahrenheit while I was grounding and in the sunshine. What's it going to be like when it's like 85, 90, 95? So I'm going to repeat this exact same experiment when it gets warmer here in a couple months, when it's like 90, 95 out there, and be in the sun and ground and then get in. That's going to feel so good. So good. M Follow is here. Shez Grace is here. Trish is here. 2016 Hopes is here. So those of you that came in late, day 79, I actually did something different before I got into the ice bath today. I did 15 minutes in the sunshine. I grounded barefoot in my backyard. I let the sunshine hit my body. And I wanted to know, okay, 15 minutes of sunshine exposure before getting in the ice bath. It actually helped. It actually helped once I got in. I was very comfortable in there. It warmed up the body slightly. It's only 65 degrees, so it's not like greatly. But warmed up the body slightly, and then I was able to get in there, and it felt fine. My hands did start hurting right at about 3.5 minutes in, so I had to pull them up. But for the most part, everything else was all systems go. So hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to keep pumping out these ice bath videos. Again, those of you watching on the replay on YouTube or even on Instagram and Facebook, you can always watch these live 5 p.m. every single day over at Instagram. Go to @LivinLowCarbMan, LivinLowCarbman. Nutrient dense teas. Do you have to ground on grass, or is the key being barefoot? Well, definitely the key is barefoot. Okay. Grass is a great grounding one. You don't want to put it on concrete. You don't want to put it on pavement. So yes, you want to get bare feet touching the ground, okay? Preferably the grass, just because it's comfortable and it's nice and everything. But I guess you could do it on top of the dirt too, but it's kind of messy to do that. So step into grass barefoot, and then if you get the exposure to the sun, make sure as much of your body can be exposed to the sun as possible. And then do that for, like 10, 15 minutes. And you get plenty of the grounding benefits. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I will be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow, you guys, I have an interview at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with the founder and organizer of the KetoCon conference. So those of you that have missed all the keto conferences that have been gone the last 2 years because of the pandemonium, I'm going to have the founder and she basically runs, Robin Switzer is her name, runs the KetoCon event at 1 p.m. She's going to tell us all about this year's event. I will be attending. I'm not speaking. I wasn't asked to speak, but I will be an attendee there at KetoCon. I think it's in July, like early to mid-July. But you'll have all the details tomorrow with Robin at 1 p.m. And of course, I'll be back for my Ice Bath Day 80 update tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So until then, you guys, I'll see you then. Bye, guys.